This is John with JBP Technology Services, and welcome to this week's video. Today we're going to be doing a quick PC tune-up, little things that just keep your system in order. Things you probably have to do monthly. I wouldn't do them weekly, just too much time involved, and monthly's good enough. So let's go down to the little start button down here, or whatever they call it now, and then click on the file folder. This will open up our basic drives. Now, C is what we're going to be working on. We don't want to work on anything else. Let's just start here. Right click, and Properties. And we got a little group of tabs here to play with. The Tools tab is pretty much what's been in Windows for a while. We're not going to hit those yet. We're going to start with something else. Let's start with the General tab, and then excuse me. Click on Disk Cleanup, and it's going to go through and look for things that it knows it doesn't need. Now, you may want some of it, but for right now we're not going to worry about what's in here. I'm just going to show you the procedure. Normally I would take out everything, but right now we're just going to do the simple stuff so it goes a little quicker. There we go. Recycle bin, temporary files. That's good enough for now. Down here it'll show you the description. If you actually click on one of the items to see what it is, it'll tell you what the files are and where they came from. So click OK. Warning, you sure you want to? Oh wait, no, don't. Okay. Now it's deleting them. Now this, like I said, this takes very little time to get done, as long as you don't select a huge amount to get rid of. And it's done. Now we're going to go to the Tools menu and start with error checking. This one's important. Here it says we don't need to scan this drive because Windows hasn't found any errors, but we're going to do it anyway. Sometimes we can find things by manually checking that Windows doesn't see in its automated checking. So click the scan process, and now we wait. And wait. And wait. This is probably the longest of all the procedures, and if you notice right now, they tells you about how long it's going to be, and it's like time's going in the wrong direction here. It's supposed to be getting shorter. What happens here is it's figuring out what all needs to be done, and it's realizing things are bigger than it originally thought. So it's going to get up to a certain point where it really knows the correct time, but it's going to be a while, and rather than wait it out, we use the wonders of modern technology, and 2 hours later, the drive was successfully scanned. So close this now, and we're going to go on to optimize and defragment. Now, this is not really needed in a modern system. Right now it says there's 0 fragmentation, and that's because I have it set to do it automatically. If you want to change those settings, they're right here. I have it set at the default, which is weekly. I never turn off my computer, so I don't have to worry about if it gets missed. So we're okay there. But let's go ahead and do an analyze anyway, just to be sure. It may be that it hasn't checked in a couple of hours, and maybe we've done some huge amount of work and it's defragmented, so probably not. But we're going to go ahead and go through it. It doesn't take long. Oh, look, we're still okay, 0%. So now we'll move on to the next step. The next step is going to be deleting the temp files. Now go into your C drive by double-clicking on it, and go down to the users folder, because your temp files are under your profile, under the users folder. And the other thing is we'll need to be able to see hidden files, because the folder we're looking for now is hidden. Windows doesn't want you touching it. So of course we're going to unhide it. We're going to touch it. Don't tempt me, Windows. Go to App Data and Local, and then scroll down to the temp folder. Now, normally I would reboot before I did anything like this, because a lot of times these temp files will clear up when you close the programs and reboot. A lot of them get left behind, so you still need to do this. But, I didn't reboot. I left a lot of things open. So click any one of them, then hold Control and hit A. And that basically means select all. So you're selecting all of the files that are in this folder. Then you hit the delete key, and you start deleting. Okay. Now we've gotten to a point where it's found some files that are open and currently in use, which, like I said, if I had rebooted, it wouldn't be a problem. We'll tell it to skip the first one. And now it's going to come back and tell us that there's more. So let's just say do this for all current items and click skip again. If you notice, 2,133 files have been deleted. So we've cleaned up not necessarily a massive amount of space, but a bunch of files. And when it's looking for something in a temp folder, it's got to look through all that. So this will clean it up to the point where it's going to be a little faster, a little smoother. And if there's any corrupted garbage in there, we've just gotten rid of it. Well, unless it's something that I corrupted since my last reboot, because it's not going to clear out all those files. It left all these behind because they're currently open by something on the computer. I have to come back and get them later. But that's that step. Now for the last step, is something that people usually think of as being a security issue, which is clearing your browser history and cache, but can also add to the speed of your machine when you're browsing the internet, because it's not hunting through all that garbage. It doesn't have to try to hunt for history to see if there is any, or look for a cache to see if there's a cache. We'll start with IE. You go up to the little gear thing here, the first tools, internet options. Okay. About 3/4 of the way down, there's a browser history or browsing history. Click the delete button and up comes a list. Now the settings here are default. I usually leave them to this. Specifically passwords I want saved. This is my home computer. It doesn't travel. I don't need to be that meticulous about the security on it. So just click delete. This is one of those really frustrating times when Windows doesn't give you a progress bar, so you have no idea what it's doing, or even if it's doing anything. So usually I get frustrated at some point and I'll come down and I'll click the apply button to make sure it needs it, but it doesn't. It doesn't have to. Oh, there we go. It's done. So Internet Explorer has finished deleting the selected browser history. So let's go on to the next browser. Next we're going to go to Edge, which is the new browser for Microsoft. It's my primary browser. And so this one I know has a massive amount of history because I haven't cleaned it. I won't say how long. So we're going to go up here. Oh, interesting article. I have to read that later. All right, let's go up here to where the little on the address bar area, and click on the favorites icon, and that'll open up a screen and go down to history. It doesn't look like there's a lot of history, but if you look, you see there's a lot down below that it's compressed or shrunken. Normally I would take out cookies and saved website data also. In this particular case I'm not, because I know specifically something that I'm working on right now in that browser that'll get broken if I do that. So like I said, if I had closed everything and rebooted, it wouldn't be an issue. In this case I know there's something I don't want to lose, so I'm going to not check that one right this minute. Yeah. Like I said, this is going to be the longest one because it's the one I use the most. So rather than sit here and wait for it, probably better if we just move on to another. We can do more than one at one time. So we'll do Firefox next. Now you go up to the little menu button here, click Options, and we need the Privacy and Security tab. Another place where you may want to look around, see if there's anything you want to do to tighten up your system, clear out passwords, autofill so things don't automatically fill in if somebody starts to type the beginnings. It's up to you. Right now though, I'm just here to clear up space. So clear data, then click the clear button. Yeah, I'm sure I want to. And then wait a moment. This doesn't take too long. This one's pretty quick. It's only a gig of data it's deleting, so there we go. And it'll refresh this little line where it says a gig of data. And come on, there we go. Okay. All right, well, this one's still going, so let's keep going on to the next browser. Next is Opera. I don't use Opera very much. I really just use it for compatibility testing with websites. So come over here to the history folder, And you see that I only have 4 things here, and I actually had to create them specifically for this demonstration. Clear browsing data, not history, clear browsing data. And here we see the basic settings. Now, it'll clear up just a little bit, or you can set a time range. I want to clear all time, not just the last hour, not just the last day, not just the last week. And here, if you look, you can also see there's more options than the original ones if you really need to clear out more, but I don't, so we'll let it go. This one too should be pretty quick, because guess what? I don't use this browser very much. Well, let's go check. Before we minimize it, I'll just show you that it's actually gotten rid of stuff. Let's close this because I don't want it to reopen automatically when I open the browser back up, and there we go. No history items. Alright, so that's done. Last but not least is Chrome. Now, I only use Chrome for one thing, and that's playing TV on my Chromecast. So it's not going to have a lot of history to it. But if we go up, oh, look, that one completed. We'll get it out of the way. Alright, so go up here to the little menu thing, click More Tools, Clear Browsing Data, and it has the same basic option of basic and advanced and last hour, all time. We're going to do all time, and then I'll leave the rest of them. Clear data, and once it's done, it'll disappear. Come on, be done. Alright, there we go. It's been removed. Now, it also removes things off of your other synced devices. You could tell it not to, but personally, I like to do that because my phone doesn't need to see all this stuff. But anyway, there we go. I'd like to thank you for watching this week's video. We'll be going on to other subjects later on, PC security basics, what upgrades and enhancements you might need on your computer, websites and blogs if you want your own, how to create one, setting up a 3D graphics program to allow you to create realistic 3D images, IP cameras for security if you want security camera setup. We'll be doing a course on that. And then also a very limited course on games, creating games for the PC. We'll start with something simple, and you can expand from there once you get the basic knowledge. But in the meantime, thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day.